As filmmakers, we are trained observers of the obvious, which means that when we watch a film, it becomes a challenge because we begin to see through the story and we watch how the writers, editors, and directors have put a scene together. And when they do this exceptionally well, that scene will come to life. Today, we are going to watch a scene from The Winter Soldier, and we're going to watch a scene from the BBC series Sherlock. Then we're going to ask ourselves, what can we learn from these two scenes that'll up our games as writers, directors, and editors? Welcome, future editors, writers, and directors. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe in the description below. Today we are going to climb up one notch in our belt of experience. To do this, we're going to watch a scene from the BBC series Sherlock starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman as Dr. Watson. Here we go. Log line, log line, log line, log line. One sentence that describes an entire scene and or movie. Dr. Watson thinks he is meeting Minecraft, Sherlock Holmes' brother, to discuss why Sherlock is depressed after the loss of a woman that Sherlock liked. The scene starts off with a simple opening wide shot. Dr. Watson walks in that is beautifully lit and framed up. Then we cut to a shot of, we're like looking through a peephole. He's looking around. I like how it's framed up. Look at him though. He's on the left-hand side. Notice this, it plays a big part in the scene. All of a sudden we reveal another medium shot. He's still framed up on the left-hand side. I'm going to start using the term eye line. See where this takes us. It's not Minecraft that shows up. It's Irene Adler, the woman that Sherlock liked. Notice what the director is doing here. He has Irene Adler, the actress character, framed up on the right-hand side. The next shot, right, we cut to a wide shot of both of them talking. Then we go to this pigeonhole of Dr. Watson. I love the creativity here. We've got black on the right-hand side. He is framed up almost exactly where he was in the medium shot that was facing front. Notice there's very little lead room from his nose to the end of the frame. It's like he's boxed in. The director might be telling us he's boxed in. It cuts back to her. She is still on the right-hand side, medium shot, but the whole rest of the frame, notice that it's out of focus with depth of field, so our eyes are going to focus solely on that actor. We cut back to a shot of him, showing a little more emotion. The intensity of the scene is now beginning to build, so the edits are coming a little quicker. Notice now, and this is fun, that their eye lines match. She's on the right-hand side of the screen, where he's on the left-hand side, and you can literally draw a line across between their eyes. Their eye lines match. This keeps us as a viewer watching and entertained during the scene. Then, for the first time in this scene, we notice she's the one boxed in. Whatever Dr. Watson has said in his dialogue has really begun to push her in a little bit. Her nose is very close to the right-hand frame, but unlike Dr. Watson, we've got a little more exposed space. Where do our eyes go? They are all on her. We cut back to Dr. Watson. He doesn't have the black frame in this one. His is a little more open. What I loved in the lighting is that when you look at both of these pictures, they are outlined right down their profile, which just is a great look. Like, I would love to know how they achieved that look. You can see it on his nose as well, down to his chin, and hers is perfectly outlined. This adds a ton of depth to the picture. Then he's going to leave, so we cut back to our master shot of him walking away. She pulls him back in by using a cell phone. Notice now the intensity picks up, and we've gone to a tight close-up, right? We're a little tight on where before we had a medium shot. Now we've got a tight close-up. He goes to a tight close-up as well, so you know they're most likely arguing. They change the camera angle again to keep the audience engaged. We've gone to that little peekaboo shot right there. All of a sudden, look who shows up. The man himself, Sherlock Holmes. Notice how he is framed. He is on that left vertical third right in the middle. You see a shot like this, it makes you want to be on set and talk about how they discovered these shots and went about their day and shot them. Of course, she tells Dr. Watson, whoa, you better be quiet. Same shot from before. He's like, this is not going to end well. And she says, I don't think so. Do you? What a wonderful scene. And you really get a fantastic idea that they did a master shot first, then they probably went in and did the medium shots, and then they probably went in and did the tight close-up shots, and then maybe they went and pulled back and got those profile shots. The editor grabbed them all and put them together to create one scene. I would love to have been there on set and put down a little bit of gaffer's tape and said, you stand here, Dr. Watson, you stand here. Okay, we're gonna roll it with 2 cameras as you both do your dialogue and capture it, and then we're gonna change it up, and then we're gonna do it again, because that's how we roll. Energy level getting low, energy units running down. Now let's take a trip upstairs. Delicious. Let's jump right to it. The log line for this scene in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is Bucky is having nightmares about his past actions, and he goes and he sees a therapist. How does this scene start, and what can we learn from it? The very first shot we see in this scene is literally Bucky sitting center frame, bottom third, unhappy. You gotta love the background of the trees. This is almost Marvel comical. From here, we click to one of a favorite extreme close-ups. When I saw this extreme close-up, I tell you, my eyes got big, my heart rate increased. I like that what you see is right on his eye. Everything in this shot pulls your focus right into his eye. Notice we are slightly above his right shoulder, looking down. His face is taking up half the screen. The next shot we get is the over the shoulder of the therapist. Then we finally get a look at the therapist. It's the exact same kind of extreme close-up, except she's framed up on the right-hand side, slightly over her left shoulder, and all of our vision is brought to her eyeball as a therapist. I love it. I want to make this stuff. We then cut to a nice medium shot of the therapist. I also want to say that I like the lighting that's coming in. It's like it's almost an late winter, maybe like a winter soldier. It's that low sun that you get in the winter that's coming into this office. We now go to a profile shot. Then we go literally to the reverse shot of that. Now we've got Bucky in a profile. He's kind of in that left vertical where his hands are in the center and we can still see outside. And I'm sticking with it. I think they went for late winter sun lighting here. Then we go to a tight close-up of Bucky. Notice the sun rays are still diagonal behind him, just the way they were diagonal behind the therapist. Now, this is interesting. In this scene, when you watch it, he tells the backstory about how he's trying to make amends and the 3 rules of being Bucky. And when Bucky goes and lies in this scene, when he tells a lie, a flat-out lie, instead of having Bucky framed up in the middle, they push him over to the left. And that smile tells you Bucky's not being 100% honest. Now he's framed up off center. And when you're off center, things aren't right. And when things aren't right, Bucky, I think you're lying to me. You're not being 100%. I love the way this scene ends with 2 simple lines of dialogue and the way they put it together. We cut to the extreme close-up here of Bucky, but we hear the therapist in our other ear, and the therapist says, "You're free." And Bucky responds with, "To do what?" What an awesome moment of writing and directing and cinematography / DP work all put together in the final shot of the scene. And we also learned one of the neat editing tricks is that you can hear another character's dialogue, but you can watch the character that has to listen to it and thus see their reaction to it. These scenes are important to me and you because we can watch the pros, gain insight from their work, and then take what we've learned and bring that on to our own sets. Some of the things that we learn is that when the intensity in a scene increases, we tend to go from long shot to medium to tight medium to extreme close-up. The closer you get to your characters, the more emotion you can see on their faces, and this really plays a huge part in telling the story of any scene. And did you notice that in the extreme close-ups, that the moment the character had too much emotion and moved out of the frame, thus out of focus, they automatically cut to another shot? This was really cool because in my head, we're thinking as directors, you've got to tell your actors to stay on their mark, that they cannot leave. Yes, you're going to get coverage, but the shot you really want is that extreme close-up shot. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe in the description below. Hit me up with a comment, ring that bell if you enjoy watching this stuff as much as I do. I'm Oliver Wiehe. Thanks for hanging out with me in my studio.